That was a fantastic soul starter for today. That was Harlem Shuffle. That's the original version by Bob and Earl from 1963. It was a bit of a failure when they first released it, but as with a lot of these soul records, I think partly because of the Northern Soul Circuit, when it was reissued in 69, it got to number 7, famously covered, of course, by the Rolling Stones in 86 with, and this was news to me, Howard, Bobby Womack on vocals.
Bobby Womack on vocals. I don't remember that either.
On the back of the Stones
we're both too
version.
Young, of course. That's,
of course, far too young. Wouldn't know what was happening in 1986. And of course, the song's opening section from Harlem Shuffle was sampled by House of Pain famously and Jump Around in 1992. So that was our soul starter for today. Howard, are you loving the allotment so far?
I'm loving the allotment. It's very kind of you to set up such a gorgeous day. I say that the cloud will come over the sun now, but it is actually sunny out. It is warm. As you can tell, we're in t-shirts. I mean, that's not bad for a Manx summer, is it, to actually be out in a t-shirt?
I mean, obviously those just listening to audio won't know that, but we are on Facebook, so do go over to Facebook. Sarah's here doing all our social media for us this afternoon, so there's photos and video galore from the allotments. And of course, we are joined again by the lovely Tanya Anderson, who is with us for the next hour. So Tanya, what has been happening since we were last here?
You know, it's funny that you say Manx summer because of the last couple of years have been so nice. Last year, this time, we had a hosepipe ban, if you recall.
Yeah, that's right.
This year, it's a bit better. So we're getting plenty of rain, but sunshine, and everything is growing. And there's lots of things to be picking this time of the year.
Mm-hmm. You say everything is growing. There is a lot of life in the allotment, and in fact we spotted a little bunny wabbit as well, because with everything growing you also get everything being eaten.
He's not so little, actually.
He's not so
he looks
little.
remarkably well fed.
Yeah, well, I spotted this guy hanging around, I don't know, a month or two ago, and he's basically taken up residence up here at this corner of the allotment. And we found that he's been busy helping himself to some of my veg just before the show. So we'll go and have a look at that in a bit. And there's lots of other life up here. We've been having loads of butterflies. The entire island has been swarmed by masses of butterflies. There's plenty of pheasants up here, plenty of everything alive and growing.
And you're used to this whole idea of growing your own, aren't you, Howard? Because you're very much involved in the whole sort of gardening scene yourself.
I've grown veggies in particular. I mean, growing plants generally I've always enjoyed. Not always with a great deal of success. And as Tanya was saying, it can sometimes be a bit of for every hit you might have several misses, which I get no end of misses in my gardening career. But I love doing the veggies, doing something different. And there's been a great resurgence, I think, in the last 10, 15 years, particularly with old Hugh Fearlessly Eats It All and such like, with people being interested in growing their own veg, also growing veg that perhaps you wouldn't find in the shops.
Mm-hmm. And so what are you eating at home at the moment that you've grown yourself, both of you? Howard first, what are you eating at home at the moment?
I did have some lettuce going. I've got some lovely yellow courgettes, which are really nice, really attractive golden variety. There's some beetroot just coming up, a few tomatoes, although I won't bore you with the details, but tomatoes every year have a few problems. So I had lovely little plum tomatoes, but not as many as I would like. I do enjoy globe artichokes, which do quite well in my garden, so I have some globe artichokes, which are a real art to eat at this time of the year, but they're quite delicious.
And what about you, Tony?
Well, you know, this year we have the new house, so we've just moved in and been starting to put in the home garden. So at home I have lots of lettuces and greens and coriander, and then the greenhouse, of course, and the tomatoes are coming in thick and fast now, especially the sun gold, which are amazing. And the aubergines are starting to produce, so I noticed the first big fruit just a couple days ago. And I also have some dwarf green peppers, so the sweet peppers, and the one plant that I have on the go is producing loads. I think there's probably about 30 peppers on it. And cucumbers, loads of cucumbers as well at home.
Oh, fantastic. But it is an ongoing cycle of life, isn't it? And so one of the things we're going to be looking at later is planting some things already.
Yes. You know, a lot of us have had busy summers, have done a lot of our planting and sowing in the spring, but there are a lot of things that can be sown right now for quick harvest before autumn and winter start rolling in. And I don't know about you, but this morning I woke up and I could definitely feel a change in the air.
Oh, don't say that. We're just getting into summer.
I know, we were talking to Andrews, our engineer, today, and we were talking about the fact that he was the engineer with us on the very first one of these Lovely Greens episodes. And I didn't want to look back at what we did on that first episode because I was thinking, gosh, it seems like it was only about a month ago itself, but it was a long time ago now, and so much has happened in that time. But we are at the allotment for the next hour, so if you have any questions for Tanya or for Howard, who also seems to know quite a lot about these things, then you can text us 166 177